Transhumanism.
Hey guys, what is going on? This is the GTA Wise guy and welcome back to another Need for Speed Payback video. Now in this one, what we're going to be doing is taking a look at one of the abandoned cars, the C10 Skyline or 2000 GTR. Now huge thanks to EA and EA GameChangers for flying me out to Ghost Games over in Sweden to try out this game mode early. I tried out speedcross. That was the main part of this update. These abandoned cars come with it as sort of like an extra little thing for you to do and some new cars to customize. I'm going to be taking a look at speedcross in a separate video because that's a whole other ball game. It is a really fun game mode, but also what's coming with this update is a drifting mode. So it's drift runs, but will be coming with the speedcross update as well. So that's like basically Toge in multiplayer speedless. I did want to try it out while I was out there, but the network wasn't up and running, so we couldn't. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it. But regardless, we're going to take a look at the C10 Skyline. I did manage to do a 399 drift build. But basically, when you go out into the world, these abandoned cars will be lying about around Fortune Valley. They're not really like derelict cars where you've got to go and find the chassis and then all the other parts for it. It's literally just a basic version of it where you go and find it. It'll basically be like a bait crate. You've got to run away from the cops, get it back to the garage, and you're done and dusted. You can literally restore the car and customize it whatever way you want, and it's your car. Now, this particular car was a race build, the one that I went and stolen, and I wanted a drift build, so once you've actually gone and got it, you can then go and buy it from whatever dealership you want to. It's pretty much like a derelict car as well. You can take it from the bottom of level 1 to the top of tier 3, and these abandoned cars aren't just going to be all there out in the world for you to go and get. So they're basically going to be drip fed in a way, but they're just going to cycle around if you don't manage to get them when they're actually there. So the first car that we're going to get is the RX-7. This C10 Skyline will come a bit later, but there are also some other cars coming back from Need for Speed 2015 as well, and also some new ones. So we're going to get the RX-7 as the first one. We're going to get the Volvo 242DL, the Volvo Amazon P130, the Plymouth Barracuda, obviously the 2000 GTR, and the M3 E30. So there's quite a few cars there that's going to be cycled around. Now, this particular car, the C10 Skyline, is literally right up on the top right-hand side of the map, or the northeast side of the map. And it's basically up by the dam. On the road leading up to the dam, it's literally just sitting there for you to go and take. You don't have to do any mad jump to go and get it. But as soon as you get in the rusty car, it's going to be literally bone stock. It's going to be the bottom of tier 1. And using that car, you've then got to run away from the police in it. It's basically like a bait crate. You've got to just... But there's no like checkpoints. You've just got to go and get to a certain getaway point, and that's it. You've literally got to get back to the garage. Now, I did find it quite difficult. Obviously, the police are quite intense on this with you being in a completely bone stock car. I did get into a tussle a few times. I'm not sure what's going to happen if you actually lose. I'm pretty sure it'll just still be sitting in and you'll be able to go back and do it again. Now, once I actually went and got it, I went and bought another one from the drift dealership, and I actually managed to get all level 18 outlaw parts on this from doing the speedcross update. Bearing in mind, I was only there for one day, so I had to go and do the speedcross events with no parts and stuff. I managed to get a bunch of part tokens, and I was able to push it right up to level 399. I didn't manage to get all level 3 perks. Obviously, I wasn't able to grind certain races. This was literally just from doing a few drift events and all the speedcross events. And I was going to take it into a drift run event over in Speedless, which is basically the competitive drifting now that's going to be in Speedless, which is coming with this update. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. The network wasn't up and running. But regardless, I still got it to level 399, managed to take it drifting on one of the drift trials. It is really fun to use, obviously not on the level of the OP Huracan, but regardless, if you're in a drift event, it's still going to be able to rack up quite a lot of points as well. Now, it's not like a typical drifting car, it is leaning more towards the Huracan. It does have a lot of pull coming out of corners and stuff like that. It is really fun to use for drifting. I didn't really get to try it out for racing and stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't have time. But I'm sure it'll be pretty decent for racing and stuff. You can take it to the top of 399 from the bottom of tier 1. Now onto the customization. Some of you guys might have noticed from the showcase that it looked quite similar to the Wildcards Hakosuka Skyline. If you guys recognize that one, it was used at the EA Play event over in LA to help promote Need for Speed Payback, and it was there just sitting there while people were playing the game. I managed to get up close and personal with it, take some pictures, and it is a pretty cool build, so I decided to go and make something that was quite inspired by that. Obviously that's white and blue, this one's sort of white and red, but I'm not going to take credit for originality on this one. It is literally pretty much just a rip-off of that one. But I did have fun making it. I'll leave a full sort of wrap design right at the end of the video for you guys to go and take a look at how I made the wrap. But regardless, we'll move on to the customization. So one of the first things we can do with the bumper options is we can go between rusty, a chrome front bumper, just a blacked out one, or we can have an oil cooler, like an exposed oil cooler, and just completely remove that front bumper bar, which is pretty awesome. Now on splitters as well, we've also got those sort of like bozo splitters, not too over the top and massive, but just like the right size to keep it nice and subtle. With the hoods, we can't really do too much. We can put on, like, I think it's like a carbon hood or a matte hood or the rusty one. So no different hoods, just pretty much changing of textures and stuff like that. The headlights, there are quite a lot of options. I would have been annoyed if I couldn't make like headlight covers for it. We can literally put covers on the headlights. Instead of having the circular ones, we can just have those sort of rectangular ones. And we've also got tilted headlights with some like sharp edges on them, which is the ones that we see on the Wildcards Hakosuka Skyline. So I decided to go with those ones. And on the wing mirrors as well, we can also go for some more classical looking wing mirrors, or we can have some ones on the actual doors, some more modern ones. But I decided to keep them stock to try and keep it as similar to the Wildcards build as possible. There's a few fenders there. So there are some oversized ones and more subtle bolt-on arches as well. So I decided to go for the arches that were in between. Also for the side skirts, I think that's a bit pointless. It's literally just, we've only got the option of rusty or restored. For the rear fenders, same again as the front, and I decided to go for the one in the middle. Now coming around to the back bumper, again we can go back to rusty or just like a normal back bumper bar, or we can completely remove it. And then for the diffusers, literally just like the standard Need for Speed diffusers as well, but I decided to leave those off. Now onto the spoiler, the actual Wildcards build does have a spoiler on it. We've got some generic Need for Speed spoilers there as well, but I decided to take it off. I thought it looked a bit cleaner like that. And for the exhaust as well, just somewhat, again, the generic Need for Speed stuff. But I decided to throw a bozo exhaust on there as well, or Shakotan, whatever you want to call it. Not the actual one that's on the one in real life. There are some side exit ones on the actual real build. But I decided to go for a bozo one to complete that Japanese look as well. Don't be fooled by the roof options. You don't get like a roof rack or anything. It's literally just between rusty and restored. The wheels kind of annoyed me on this one, especially the stock ones. You literally got space savers all around the car. Hopefully Ghosts are going to fix that sometime soon. The difference in the wheel size is something that I'm really quite annoyed about. Now when it comes to the wheels, obviously you've got to throw some Watanobes on there to complete that Hakosuka look. For the front wheels, I didn't have as much offset as I did on the rears, so a much more deep dish on the rear. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. Just the sort of customization you'd expect to see for the C10. Obviously, I'm not into Bozo, but it would have been cool to have some options there for the guys that are into Bozo Zoku, to have some like massive over-the-top stuff for this car. I thought it would have been a great opportunity to see this car with stuff like that on it for Need for Speed, but I don't think it's something that we're going to see in this game. Unfortunately, we didn't get it with this car. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much all for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll obviously leave some footage here of me actually doing the wrap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. When the actual abandoned cars come out, I'll do the rest of them as and when they come out. I might do another build on the Hakosuka when it comes around to it. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much all for this video. Apologies for the lack of videos recently as well, but hopefully less of that and more videos in the run up to Christmas. I'll have some speedcross content out soon, and obviously some drifting speed lists when I'm able to get online when the update actually comes out. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much all for this video. If you are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to keep up to date with the speedcross content and any other updates that might be coming out for Payback. Also, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this build and want to see some more videos like this. And anyway, guys, that's pretty much all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.